Another big difference between the Monarch method and Dewey Decimal is how I've done science and technology together. It really makes more sense to combine them because a lot of the science is being led by people in the automotive field, or people in the oil field are affecting science. It's kind of crossing back and forth, so it made sense to have them go together. In our library, we start with technology, and transportation is all here, which is different from Dewey. So all the cars and planes are with our technology, which also includes computers. But then we have our science section, so scientists, that type of thing. Another interesting thing that we do, I always hated how Dewey had domestic animals in one place and wild animals in another place. The kids don't like it, doesn't make sense. All my animals are together. Because I'm in a high school library, I really don't have a large animal section. But things like these cats is kind of a good example about that. So we have, let's show you the horses, for example. So all of our fiction horses books are together with the non-fiction horse books. Again, using the color label to indicate for the reader what kind of book they're looking at. So I mentioned before, in my library, everything is intershelved, the entire library. And here's a perfect example of that with our basketball. You can see that we have dark blue spine labels. That indicates it's biographies of Michael Jordan in this case. You have the orange labels, that tells the kids it's fiction. And it's important for them to understand that while these people maybe didn't truly exist in these fiction books, it tells you about the sport and the experience of playing the sport. The other thing we have here is the light blue label. So this is an autobiography by Shaquille O'Neal. Light blue tells them that he wrote it, it's in his words. And then when you see things with clear labels like this, it's just nonfiction. So one of the things that we thought was really important to us was put the issues kind of books together, and we didn't want it just to be nonfiction issues. For example, like child abuse. So many of us have shown the kids or talked to the kids about The Lost Boy and A Child Called It. They love those books, but there's other books that we have in our fiction collections that support those topics too. And the kids wouldn't know them in fiction because it's like finding a needle in a haystack. So you can see here we've got the orange spine labels to tell them that while this kid didn't actually exist in real life, it tells you a lot about being a kid who's living with child abuse in their family. It makes it easier for the kids to find things they didn't even know they were looking for. So back to our analogy about the fiction section being basically like looking for a needle in a haystack for kids that aren't strong readers or don't read a lot. This helps you kind of see what we're talking about. We have lots of books in our fiction section that we're talking about the African American experience, or the Asian American experience, Hispanic American experience, and we've even created Native American and also Muslim Americans, but they were buried in there. So now the kids, if they're going to the Muslim American experience, are going to find fiction like Veil of Roses by Laura Fitzpatrick, which they might not have seen when they were over in fiction.